Hey, it's me, it's Mike. I'm ready to go. Join me for some more Hare Krishna stuff. What do we got? Well, a lot of people here. We got Liam. Hey, how you doing, Liam? Good to see you. And we got Easy Market. Good to see you, Easy Market. Um, and Jenna Morton. Good to see you here. Jenna. And Eliana, the moderator. Good to see you. Hope your dad's doing good. Everything well. Um, some nice prayers, some really nice prayers, which is always good. If you're waiting, if you're waiting for me to come on, you can go our hoodie. Yeah, we got Swaha, everything. Put that banana in there. And Jolynn, good to see Jolynn. Um, Tim, good to see you here. And N. Man, it's good. Good to see you, N, and Fake Human, of course. Absolutely. And so let's get right to it. I got a brand new opening. I'm excited because I put a lot of work on this. I put a lot of work into this. And I know we got some Gorahari followers watching. Yeah, hey, I was watching him yesterday and today, and got some revelations. He confessed, so we're going to talk about that. Some as the Loka turns, and right now we're going to get to this new opening.
Hello?
Hello.
There we go. Oh, that was a lot. Yeah, we were yabbing dabbing doing. Yabbity dabbity doo. Yes, absolutely. Um, Running after that kiwi and getting chased by the cops. Yeah, absolutely. And so, but where to start? I don't know. I don't even know where to start. I'm looking forward to having a lot of fun though. Small. Okay. Yeah, the small spoon, the little ladle, and giggity, giggity. So, speaking of giggity,
Giggity, let's have sex.
so I happened to be watching this guy, this Gorahari guy, right? I was watching last night. Let me get the. I can't believe it. Let me get this going because this really it deserves. All right, so the first thing I learned about this Gorahari guy is, he's got this ex-wife. He talks shit about her. I guess he could. I guess she couldn't accept him as being this Jagat guru, whatever, right? But then I'm watching last night, and and somebody asked him, I don't know who it was, I don't know. Somebody asked him, hey, I don't know how, I don't know how they knew. I don't know where they asked him, they said, hey buddy, you ever had sex with your disciple, Yamuna or something? And I was like, what? And he goes, yeah, hey, I'm gonna come clean and go, yeah, I did, I did, I didn't know what I was doing. I was, he came up with a bunch of excuses why, um, he's this pure devotee, he's whatever, he's a social, but I'm not gonna give him credit for admitting it because the guy's a lying sack of shit. Whether he admits it or not, whether he admits it or
Giggity,
not.
giggity, 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 let's have sex.
But I knew this guy was a big sack of shit. So he admits that he's had sex with one of his disciples, in the past. He came clean, like, and just like just like every other ISKCON guru, it's not a big deal. There's like Prabhufraud, he can have sex with his disciple, and all of them, they all can leave sannyas. They can leave sannyas and go get a wife after they took a vow. They're all punked flunks, among the flunks. Every one of them, including this guy, including this guy. And he admitted it right on. He admitted it right on the camera. He said, "Yeah, I had sex with my disciple. I didn't know what I was doing." Because he knows he can't hide it or anything. It's evidently she's talking. Evidently she's out there talking. I guess, his ex-wife, and his disciple that he having sex with. He's just another fucking. I knew from the moment I saw this guy. And I listened to his bullshit. I knew he was fucking full of shit. I knew. I knew he was a dreamer.
He didn't have that dream. I did.
I knew. I knew it. And he admits it. So, it was you. It was you that I wasn't sure if it was you or not. I didn't want to implicate you in something. I didn't have all the information, but yeah. And again, I don't give him credit. For being honest. You're supposed to be honest. He's a lying sack of shit. The way he abuses that other woman. Well, you don't see her coming on live. You don't see her going in there and praising him with her husband and glorifying him every night like these other knuckleheads do. She did what she had to do to keep her marriage together, and that's it. And she's gone. No, but I'm going to tell you this. He's talking about. I'm telling you, he can't help. He can't help it. He can't help it when I talk about his stupid ass. He's talking about stories. How it's not stories. He's talking about how. His dancing is transcendental, and his dancing is just like Krishna's dancing. He's always comparing himself to Krishna. He's always comparing himself to Krishna and Jesus. But what I was going to say is, if you listen to this guy, first of all, the guy's having sex with his disciples. Okay, you can't even trust the guy. The guy's 70-something years old. The guy's having sex with. This is another Trivikram. It's another Trivikram. I don't care. Guy's a lying sack of shit. But if you listen to this guy talk, this is the thing. You listen to this guy talk.
Don't laugh. It's just a different grade. It's like you can tell the different grades of gurus. You got certain level gurus out there, and then you come here and you see another grade of guru. And you see other devotees out there, and then you see other devotees here in a different grade of those devotees. And as you stick around long enough, you start to see there is a difference. Otherwise, if we don't show you the difference, then there's no learning. Okay, learning is by perspective.
Because I'm saying these people are mental. These people are men. They are mental. So he's saying no, we're not mental. We're not. He's saying we're not mental. Hey, aviator. This guy is as mental as a homeless person on Skid Row that is talking to a friggin' fire hydrant, having a discussion with a fire hydrant. They make the guy having a discussion with the fire hydrant probably makes more sense than this guy. This is nothing but a bunch of. Let me show you this. Nothing but a bunch of gaslighting and bullshit. When I say bullshit, I mean. I looked it up, Wikipedia. You just look up fallacies. You know, you don't have to because I did it. But just look up fallacies, right? And there's all these fallacies. Prabhupada's books, and this Bhakti Yoga and this Vedic bullshit. It's nothing but appeals to all of these logical fallacies. Argument from probability, circular reasoning, conjunction fallacy, all of these different types of logical fallacies that just prove that arguments are faulty, affirming the consequent, denying the antecedent, affirmative conclusion from a negative premise, the fallacy of exclusive premises, the fallacy of four terms, the fallacy of undistributed middle. It goes on, and it explains what they all are. And when you read these, you go, yeah, that's when Prabhupada says this. When he says friggin' therefore, he'll say one thing. Krishna says this, blah, blah, blah. And then he'll say, therefore, and then he'll rattle off something that has nothing to do with what was said. But that therefore, he uses it to connect two ideas that have nothing to do with each other, as if a logical, rational person would draw that conclusion. The lunacy of it all, absolutely. And you know, all of these different fallacies. You go read through there, and this is all of this bhakti yoga and scripture and biblical and all of this stuff appeals to authority, appeal to fake authority, saying, you know, using Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as an authority, or using Bhaktisiddhanta as an authority, or even using Prabhupada as an authority. There's no authority. Prabhupada's no authority on anything. You got to buy into the sacred assumption. You got to join the cult and buy into the sacred assumption that he's this bona fide guru and a parampara that goes back 5,000 years and Krishna appeared in Vrindavan. You got to buy into all that shit to accept Prabhupada as some authority. He's no authority. AJ, good to see you. Good to see you here. So all of these gurus are the same. It's not that only Guru Hari is doing it. I'm kind of doing the show backwards today. This guy does it too. Let me show you this.
And so, one little warning, I'm going to give an old-fashioned Hare Krishna talk. And I especially wanted to speak on the subject of terms that are not that common in sort of the mainstream culture, although they should be. And that is personalism and impersonalism. And so I'll explain what that means.
Yeah, I'm gonna use cult language and cult terms and cult vernacular. So I'm going to give you an old-fashioned cult lecture using all these cult terms. That's what he meant to say. That's what he was trying to say.
But when Prabhupada came to teach Krishna consciousness and established his movement, those terms, personalism and impersonalism, were absolutely at the center of his philosophical presentation. And if you study the history of world religions, including Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, and so on, this has been probably the main, how should I put it, dividing line.
And he's going to sit there as if he's some authority. Like he's somebody because he went to Harvard. And yet he believes in these stories. He doesn't believe in what in the actual truth and the facts that they teach at Harvard. He believes in fairy tales and mythology. No different than it's no different than going learning Greek mythology and believing in the mythology and believing in the stories. And you can believe, like Gor Hari last night or today, I forget when it was. He was trying to say you can believe in the stories and they can give you some comfort even if you don't accept them as literal. And I've been saying that all along. That's not the point. That's not what Hare Krishna teachings. That's not what ISKCON. That's not what this mind control is about. This cult, this Hare Krishna cult, and this Bhakti Yoga, this Gaudiya Vaishnavism, whatever you want to call it, is about controlling people's minds, manipulating them, spiritual blackmail, using these scriptures to control people, exploit their labor. That's what this is about. If you want to read stories and get the symbolism and go to a temple and pray and worship whatever you want to worship, there's nothing wrong with. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I mean, personally, I don't recommend it, but I don't say don't do it. If that turns you on, go do it. If it turns you on to go to a drum circle and bang on a drum and dance around and do a hippie thing, that's great. Nothing wrong with that. Harvard dumbass Goswami, he wrote a good Gita commentary. Yeah, that's because that's what we need. Is we need another Gita commentary. We need another commentary by a super white Hindu on a book that's absolutely not relevant in today's world. But yay, knock yourself out. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Knock yourself out. Yeah, I mean, how do you go to Harvard, come out dumber than you went in? That's just not possible. Yeah, Gary, good to see you here. I'm glad you stopped by. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Let's hear. Who do you want to hear? Who do you want to hear out? You want to hear Sri Dayanand? You want to hear dumbass? Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. All of these guys would. Every one of them would. If it was the real deal, there would be no need to preach. They'd be so into all the shit that they preach. You would think that it was the greatest friggin' thing, but they're not doing nothing. And this guy ain't doing shit either. It's the same. This guy ain't doing nothing either. He talks about how this and that is the greatest, and these people, and this stunning Freddie, and this guy over here, and these people, they ain't doing nothing. They ain't escaping the matrix by mantra meditation. They're just mentally masturbating, thinking that they're the greatest thing that ever walked the face of the earth, while he's thinking he's a super white Hindu Jesus. That's all. That's it. And it makes them feel good. Good for you. You're being manipulated. You're being manipulated. You're being exploited. That's it. I can't help it. All these Slim Shadys, yeah, all of them. All of them. And they all want the same thing. They want as many followers as they can get. They want as many fucking followers as they can get. That's what they want. Every single one of them. Whether it's this friggin' dancing fool, whether it's this dancing fool or the friggin' Harvard dumbass Goswami. They all want the same thing. They want to control people's lives, and they want to have flowers around their neck. They want to be worshipped. They want their bills paid. They want to exploit everybody around them. Otherwise, why are they doing it? Can you tell me why they're doing it? Oh, they're doing it out of the goodness of their heart? No. It's like I said, if they were doing it out of the goodness of their heart, and if this was real and it was the real deal, they'd all be down by the Radha Kund or Govardhan Hill or living in Vrindavan or living in Mayapur, and they'd be chained away, and they wouldn't give a fuck about it. No, none of them. Even Indra Yumna Swami, he's got to have his women. He's got to have his little girls. He's got to be flying around the world. These guys are all the same scammers, all of them. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you, Contentment John. People don't do things for the goodness of their heart. Okay, well, let me ask you. What are you doing for the goodness of your heart, Gora Hari? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? You tell me what you're doing. You tell me what you're doing out of the goodness of your heart. What are you doing? I'm sure you must be doing something. But what does Indra Yumna Swami do that's good? Exactly. Nobody wears expensive watches like pure devotee. What does Indra Yumna Swami do that's good? Traveling around the world on someone else's dime, guru paloozing around with his little ladle and his rocks. What good is he doing? What is he doing? What is he doing? What is he doing that's benefiting anybody? Now, the guy that's doing something is that guy that's driving around fixing up the toilets in India and bringing clean water and making sure that there's clean toilets where people can use, so they don't get sick. They don't get sick and die from using a goddamn toilet. Oh, tell me what you're doing. Tell me what you're doing out of the goodness of your heart. Tell me you do it. Tell me you feed the cat down the street. I feed this. You know. Tell me what you do. Tell me you feed stray dogs. Tell me. I don't know. Tell me you do something. What do you do out of the goodness of your heart? You can't name something that you do. You're not motivated by something else that you just do out of the goodness of your heart. What is it, dude? Surely there's one thing you do out of the goodness of. Surely you can name something that you brought it up. You wanted to catch me and tell me I'm a loser. I don't do anything out of the goodness of my heart. What do you do out of the goodness of your heart? How many clean toilets have you built? How much clean water do you bring to people that don't have clean water? How many inoculations have you given to little kids in villages where disease is high and vaccinations are low? To enlighten us on what you've done. Tell me, William Zoda. Come on, William Zoda. Tell me what you've done. Because the only thing I see you do, the only thing I've seen you do is. I mean, do you do that? Do you do that out of the goodness of your heart? Are you doing that out of the goodness of your heart? I mean, I don't know. You tell me. Is that helping people? Oh yeah, that helps people. Yeah, that I'm giving them love of God. I give them love of God. Hey, how you doing, Travis? Good to see you. You want to see a pure devotee? You You wanna see a pure devotee? There's your pure devotee.
He didn't have that dream. I did.
So you gotta be you gotta be a special kind of schmuck to try to scam people by telling them you had a dream and now you're a guru. And that's just a certain kind of scumbag. A certain kind of douche nozzle that would do that. You know, that's what gets me. And then to berate that woman and treat these people like it, and convince them that you're some kind of Raganuga Bhakti yogi, whatever. Here you go. Here. Let's watch some of your Raganuga. Here's your. That's your Raganuga. That's William Zoda dancing on the hoods of Kali Snake. He's such an idiot. He's such an idiot. He's such an idiot. I know he thinks that my hatred for cults, is directed at him. No, you just happen to be a dumb fucking cult member and a cult leader. I can't help it. If you're a dumbass motherfucking cult leader, man, I can't help it. That's on you. I'm actually helping people. I'm helping people avoid people like you so that they don't get involved with cults and cult leaders. Look at this. Here, let me show you this. I wanted to show what these kind of people will lead to. These scumbag douche nozzle motherfucking dick sucking pieces of shit. Let me show you what they do. People like William Zoda, this fucking dickhead, son of a bitch, cock sucking motherfucker, man.
She had convinced me that this was a really important part of my spiritual development. It's called Dolshuk. It means going to the places that scare you. And I wanted to be a good Buddhist. I wanted to be a good student. I thought I was getting the deluxe Lama package. I have been already indoctrinated into this extreme belief system that the Lama will hurt you, that they will abuse you to induce enlightenment. I have been pushed to the brink of sanity, exile, the psychological ramifications of total extended isolation.
Yeah, this sounds like what she sounds like she's been in this William Zoda cult, the cult of William Zoda, where you're berated, try to break up your marriage, tell your husband he's got to get you in line, humiliate you on YouTube in front of all these people, strangers, call you a simple pussy woman, talk about vagina and talk about your big dick and all of this shit while you claim to be some kind of holy man. Yeah, I know. He's so stupid. He's so stupid. Look, don't ask him stupid questions because you got to remember, this is what you're dealing with. He's not the smartest guy. He's not the smartest guy. He's just not the smartest guy. He's like, he took initiation from Tamal, and Tamal rejected him. And then he went to Narayan Maharaj, and Narayan Maharaj rejected him because he's a fucking dump. He's a dumb shit. He just wants to be a guru. So he's got his 8 knuckleheads that come in there, and he's got his woman that he abuses, and he's got his hot lips, and every now and then, when his dick gets hard, he does.
He didn't have that dream. I did.
He has a dream. He has a dream, and then he does a little
Giggity, let's have sex.
And there you go. I mean, that's what he does. Yeah, he just asked for a donation because, I mean, you already got the book. Well, can I just have money? Because I just wanted the money anyway. I really didn't care about the book. Just give me some money. I mean, that's really what I wanted is the money. That's I just want the money. The great Gorahari in the house. Yeah. Yeah, because, he's coming in here to get deprogrammed. See, he's attracted to the deprogramming. I think eventually he's going to reach out to me by email and he's going to say, "Hey, Mike, I really am a Snadananda. Can you help me? Can you help me get out of my own cult? I don't know." Oh yeah, like you're not. Yeah, like you don't attack. Like you don't attack ISKCON gurus, and you don't attack me, and you haven't called me Sisu Paul and all these other bullshit. All your bullshit. Yeah, you're the victim in all this. Poor Gorahari. Poor Gorahari. Poor William Zoda. Oh, I feel so sorry for you. Fucking suck a dick, you fucking cocksucker. Wait, you had a dream? You had a dream too? You know who else had a dream? This guy had a dream. Listen, he had a dream.
He didn't have that dream. I did.
He had a dream too. He thinks he's in a parampara because he had a dream. Maybe you're a guru. I had a dream last night. I had flowers around my neck. I woke up in a temple with devotees kissing my toes. I guess, hey, you're a guru too. I guess you're a guru. Gorahari says that means if that happens, that means you're a guru. That means you're a guru. Creating loonies. Absolutely. Creating loonies since 1966. Creating lunatics since 1966. Absolutely, man. You got that right. You got that right. Yeah, you drinking too much Jesus foot water, man. He spends too much time with hot lips, and this shit rubbing off on him. This is not true. Yeah, it's absolutely true. Shut the fuck up, you piece of shit. No one asked you. No one asked you. You're fucking insane. No one asked you, you dumb fucking piece of shit. It's so funny. Be fair, banning Jesus. 2 on here gave plenty of mild abuse on Gorahari's channel. They are not banned. Yeah, you know what? People can go wherever they want. People can come in and watch my channel, and then they can go watch somebody else's channel. I'm not like Gorahari, and I tell people you can't go watch other people's channel. That's not a normal thing to do. That's just not a normal thing to do. People watch Joe Rogan, and then they go watch Jimmy Kimmel, and then they go watch somebody else. It's not, you friggin' cult people are weird. Cult people are weird, man. I'm telling you. It's so fucking weird. It's so weird. The cult people are so weird, man. William Zoda, I know. I didn't block anybody. I didn't block. I haven't blocked. I don't block anybody, really. I don't. Yeah, I don't block anybody. I mean, I can. I'm not. He's not gonna preach and try and get followers here. I'm not gonna let him do that. Yeah, that's what I do here. I do Prabhupada and I do gurus. Gorahari happens to be one of them. I don't know, man. I'm sorry, but that's what I do here. This is the name of this is Krishna Cult Watch, and that's what I do. I watch Krishna stuff. I make fun of them. This piece of shit is the main one. He's one of them. All the other gurus, I make fun of them too, and I'm gonna keep doing it. So I'm really sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not your cup of tea. Yeah, I would be careful. I wouldn't recommend it, but I don't recommend it. Um, I don't recommend doing that. Just because they're insane and they're crazy, they get a bug up their ass and you don't know what could happen. That's about it. Um, but I ain't telling nobody what to do. I don't tell people what to do. Hey, Greg, nice to see you, man. Good to see you here. Good to see you here. So, yeah, hey, you do what you gotta you do what you gotta do. But I don't recommend um, confronting these cults and um, anything like that. I believe that they are crazy. You don't know what crazy one you're gonna run into. You just don't. And I don't think it's. But like I said, no, because I was a Hare Krishna. I do this because I was a Hare Krishna, so it's kind of like my thing. I'm a Hare Krishna, so I don't do Jehovah's Witness because I wasn't a Jehovah's Witness, and I don't do Mormons because I'm not a Mormon. I wasn't ever a Mormon, and I don't do Children of God or Moonies or Rajneesh or so many. I don't do those because I wasn't in those, but I was a Hare Krishna. And a lot of the people in here are ex Hare Krishna, so that's kind of our thing. That's kind of our thing is we're Hare Krishnas here, ex Hare Krishnas here. I don't know what to say. That shirt you're wearing about a series called One Piece, which is about a spiritual liberation and draws heavily from Hinduism and Buddhism. Are you trying to be ironic? No, I'm not trying to be ironic at all. I'm trying to be stylish. This type of thing is really common here where I am. These type of shirts are popular. This style with the cartoon, newspaper cartoon type of thing is very common. And so I saw one and I bought it. That's it. Isn't that weird? Isn't that something? Like not everything is deep. Not everything's deep. Yeah, I got a couple videos here. You should read about So anyway, I wanted to get that. So that was as the Loka turns. This guy, this douche nozzle, has sex with his disciples. He's not beyond any. He's not on any other level. He's not no Rupa Nuga. He's just a dreaming scumbag. That's all he is. Just like every other cult leader, actually. Just like every other cult leader. But I do want to show you. Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. This kind of turned in. It just kind of morphed into this, and I'm happy with where we're going with it right now. So that's good. Bro, I have great news. Search and read about. Yeah, I read about that. I read about that, but I didn't get all the details, and but yeah, I did see that. I saw that on one of the ISKCON ISKCON pages. Okay, I wanted to show some videos. So that's why I said I did kind of everything backwards. I do have some cult videos here I wanted to show. And this is one that I've been talking about for a while. And now this lady brings it up, but it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different, but it's very much the same. Here we go.
Comfortable? It should. Zeus raped Leda, Europa, Persephone, Callisto, Danae. Poseidon raped Medusa in Athena's own temple. Apollo chased Daphne until she begged the earth to swallow her rather than be caught by him. And none of this is characterized as crime, by the way. These are all characterized as the acts of gods. They are glorified. This is what the Greeks and Western civilization have handed to every child who has ever learned about Greek mythology for the last 3,000 years. This is considered sacred literature. So what has that done? It has formed a cornerstone for making male sexual violence the natural order of the universe itself. Here's a case study. Medusa was raped by Poseidon. Then Medusa was punished by Athena for being raped. And then she was beheaded by Perseus. And then her severed head became a weapon. The victim became the monster in her own story. That's not just a myth. That's a manual for how to do that. It's a manual for how to treat women, how to frame their violation, and how to make them responsible for their own destruction. We're still living inside of it today. Rape culture was not born on the internet, and it was not born in the 20th century. It was seeded in Greek mythology thousands of years ago. This is but one of the very sneaky ways that male superiority and violence against women has been allowed to exist in our culture, in our institutions, in our education for thousands of years, completely unchecked. And this is how we can look around today and ask, why do we have such a rape culture? Why is male violence so normalized? It is because our culture from the very beginning, Western civilization, through the Greeks and Romans, has curated, approved of, and used scholarship and education to condition all of us. Greek myths are rape manuals.
So, and I say that applies to this these Krishna stories, a lot of these Hindu stories that come from these scriptures are stories of male dominance over women. They're racist, they're sexist, there's child marriage, there's all kinds of stuff going on in there. And I've been saying that for a while. And it goes back, but also with Ramananda. I mean, just the story of Ramananda Roy with the two little Devi Dasis, the little girls, and he's rubbing his hands all over their naked bodies. And he's the most advanced guy. It's just... I don't get it. And I know that, that these gurus and Prabhupada and all of that, they want to gaslight us and go, well, it's not what you think it is. It's a spiritual, this is a perverted reflection of the spiritual world. The spiritual world is perfect and these stories are perfect. And because you don't have the eyes to see, you don't have the salve of love of God in your eye. You're not surrendered to a Gora hoodie, and so you can't understand the higher realizations of the Rupa Nuga and all of this bullshit. That's the gaslighting. That's the gaslighting and the bullshit that they want you to believe. And I don't fall for that shit. And that motherfucker gonna come in here and think he's gonna like this. No, you're not welcome in here. Get your fucking cult leader ass out of here. Manipulating scumbag, you con artist, you fucking telling me that you're on a higher level and you're this and that. Fuck you. Get the fuck out of here. Yes, yeah, absolutely. Alexander the Great brought a lot of stuff into India. Anyway, it's the same thing. It's rape culture. It's the male dominance, it's the sexism, the misogyny. Krishna kidnapping Rukmini, taking her off, and she was supposed to be getting married to the other guy. I forget the other guy's name. I don't remember. Yes, I know. It just, and I know what they're trying to say. Oh, this is the gaslighting. This is the fucking gaslighting. Oh, he was so advanced. He was so Rupanuga. He was so out there. He was just like so that he could, fuck that. Give me a break. The fuck they think? Think we're stupid? They do. They think we're stupid. They think we're stupid like this. I'm telling you, they think we're stupid like this. No, I ain't stupid like that. I used to be. 14 years ago, I was a Hare Krishna, shaved head, Sikha, traveling to India, going around, finding deities that you never heard of, deities that were supposed to come out of Lord Brahma's head, who was given to Lord Brahma, who gave it, who it came out of Lord Brahma's head, and he gave it to Narada Muni. Narada Muni took it, and he gave it to Lord Brahma, and Lord Brahma gave it to Lakshman, and Lakshman gave it to this friggin', I forget, Kardama Muni. And Kardama Muni had this friggin' Varaha deity that he took somewhere, and he gave it, and it ended up in Mathura, and I found that friggin' deity. I had a map and a book with Yashodanandan, and we went, and I said, I'm gonna find this goddamn deity. I'm gonna find it. And Yashoda's like, you're never gonna find it. He's trying to talk me out of it. He's like, you're never gonna find it. I said, no, this book says it was like a pirate map. It's like go out of the temple, turn left, go 15 paces, make a right, go under the thing, around the tree, and then make a left and go down. And I'm not joking. That's exactly what it was like. And go down, and eventually you're gonna find this door, and it's gonna say, and I did it, and we did it, and I found it. And I'm not saying I'm a guru. I'm just saying this is the type of shit I've done. I'm not friggin' stunning Freddy. I'm not friggin' Lalita Ganga or whatever. It's fucking insulting. It's insulting. Okay. Anyway, so we found that deity, and it was pretty cool at the time. I was a Hare Krishna, and it was pretty exciting to go on that wild goose chase and then find that deity. So I know what it's like, the ecstatic symptoms and freaking transcendental bliss and chanting and all that stuff. It ain't friggin' new to me. and the Ramananda Roy stories for village. Yeah, it's pornography for Brahmins. This shit is pornography for Brahmins because they were the only ones that got to read this shit. They got to read it and sit around and talk about it. And you can imagine what they were talking about after they'd read this stuff about, hey, let's read about Shiva jacking off to Mohini, and then they read the verses or whatever, and then they sit around and they talk about it, and they're like, yeah, I bet Mohini was like, yeah, she was like, whoop, 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 whoop. I can only imagine what they were doing. Friggin' disgusting is what it is. With their child brides and their friggin' treating their wives like shit. Okay, I got to show you this other one. This is a psychiatrist talking about psychosis. Now he's talking about Trump, but really I'm listening to him because I apply it to these gurus and I apply it to Prabhupada. The mental state, the delusions, the putting googly eyes on a little pebble and then worshiping it like it's God with a little ladle. Okay, that to me is something else. Here we go. And so he talks about delusions and psychosis, and I think it's really interesting. And I'm telling you, I'm gonna put this puzzle together for these that proves that these gurus are friggin' mentally ill and delusional and psycho. They're psycho.
Of this extended interview. However, to a psychiatrist watching the interaction, several very interesting things happen that call into question this debate and controversy about Donald Trump's mental health. Now, in particular, there is a branch of psychiatric diagnosis referred to as psychosis, where people develop very strange ideas and have hallucinations. One psychotic disorder would be schizophrenia, another one would be severe bipolar disorder. You can get psychosis from severe depression. Now, at the heart of psychosis very often are strange ideas, delusional ideas. Did we begin to see some evidence of psychosis and delusions in this interview?
I say that there are that I see delusions. I see this when I watch these gurus talk. When I watch this Gorahari talk. When I watch this Harvard dumbass talk. When I watch this Indra Yumna talk and this Bhakti Vikash talk. These people are psychotic. These people have delusions. They have weird beliefs. Guy with, like you said, with his little ladle. A living wild goose chase, living in Mayapur, Navadvip, Vrindavan Puri. It's all BS. It's all pornography for Brahmins. It's absolutely, it is. And the small spoon ladle for the small black rocks. And cleaning out the ears with a Q-tip, and putting eyes on a little pebble, and thinking that you're dancing on stage is going to liberate these souls and help them go back to Godhead, where they can become a 12-year-old girl and have sex with God. Talk about delusions. Thinking that Krishna appeared as dancing cowherd boy with a flute appeared 5,000 years ago and stole the clothes of these little girls and went up in a tree and made them come out of the river naked. All this weird. This is some weird shit. Hey, you go, like I said, you go down to Skid Row, talk to the guy that's having a conversation with the fire hydrant, and he'll make more sense than these people do. Talk about delusional.
It's not been remarked upon, although the interviews got a lot of attention. It's not been remarked upon because most people considering the interview are journalists and members of the lay public. They're not psychiatrists used to making diagnoses of psychotic people. I'm not saying that the interview finally reveals that Donald Trump is psychotic.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that the people that come in contact with these gurus on a daily basis, that see them every day or know what they do on a daily basis, what they think, what they eat, what they do, would say that they're psychotic, but they're not. They're not psychiatrists. So they don't know. They're not making a diagnosis. They're just going, oh, these crazy Hare Krishnas. If you only knew, all you people out there that say, oh, these crazy Hare Krishnas, if you only knew.
If you see somebody who's crazy and you don't realize they're crazy, then you're fucking crazy.
You only knew. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Dumb stories that take you nowhere. They don't even have a goddamn moral to the story. There's no moral to the story. They just talk about the moral of the story is if you hear this story, you'll be purified and go back to Godhead. There's no moral to the story because there is no story. There's no point. There's no moral. There's no anything. It's a story about Krishna throwing a donkey up into a tree, splitting a bird's beak in half, dancing on the head of a snake in a river. Krishna pretending to be a boatman so he could take the gopis over and have sex with them on the other side of the river. Krishna stealing this butter and feeding it to the monkeys, and Krishna being tied to the mortar. Well, all kinds of stuff. They got no meaning, no substance. It is a story. It's just a caveman story. It's got no meaning, no anything. And when the story's over, they go, anyone who hears this story is going to go back to Godhead. Ki Jai. It's nice to see the many varieties of Vaishnava. It's nice to tune in here to see another viewpoint. All hail the internet. Yeah, the internet's big. If you want to go, absolutely, man, I agree with you, Gary. If you want to go hear about gurus, the good things of ISKCON, and see them chant and dance and whatever, there's a lot of places where you can go do that. But if you want to hear the truth, if you want to hear the truth about them, you want to hear the truth about ISKCON, you want to hear the truth about Prabhupada, who he was, what he did, what he believed, what's in their books. There's very few places where you can go, and I'm glad I have this place with so many great people that come and join in and share. So I'm glad that this exists, just for that very reason.
What I am saying is there's a lot of material in this interview that's relevant to the question of whether Donald Trump is psychotic or not. Now, his mental health has been called into question on numerous occasions. And at the moment, I'm not saying that he's definitively not well in the head, to put it one way. But what I am saying is the interview produces some evidence. I'm going to discuss it in some detail and then leave it for you to decide what you think that means. There's obviously a problem with discussing Donald Trump's mental health. There are many problems, but one problem is that maybe it's a cover for people who are anti-Donald Trump to label him as mentally ill, but that's basically a cover for basically a political thing, which is they just don't like the guy or they don't like his politics, and they're taking refuge in a psychiatric diagnosis.
So these gurus, at least one of these gurus has said, well, Mike says that we're crazy because we do this, and we're laughing and crying and we're talking this and these stories and whatever reasons I give for them being crazy, and they're saying no, we're not crazy, they're crazy, they're the crazy ones, but of course I'm not, and we're not a psychiatrist. A psychiatrist is on another level. This guy, when you're on his level, he can watch an interview with somebody and he can make talk about an educated, not just an educated guess. He can make an educated diagnosis based on the information that he has. That other people can't, and other people just aren't able to do it. And nobody's really doing it. Nobody's studying these gurus to find out if there's these Gora Haris and these Harvard dumbasses and Prabhupads and Bhakti Vinod, if what they're writing about and what they're saying and all that, if they're psychotic and crazy, and schizophrenic, I say they are. I say every one of them is. Yes, do not support. It's destructive. Yeah, absolutely. I missed that comment. Hey, Ghana, how you doing? Good to see you, man. Good to see you in. I think you were in with Gora Hari. I'm not sure. Yeah, absolutely. Those are good books to read. That's good information. And I'm going to tell you, as good as Betrayal of the Spirit is and Monkey on a Stick is, that's just scratching the surface. There's so many books can be written, so many stories to tell. And I know it sounds like a cliche, and it is kind of a cliche, but for every Betrayal of the Spirit and every Monkey on the Stick, there's 10, 20, 30, 40 stories that you don't hear. Like the kid that got his teeth knocked out. The little kid that was in the school and the guy threw him on the floor, knocked his teeth out. He didn't have teeth his whole life. The guy was, I don't even know how old he was, 40 something, 50 years old. He passed away. Finally got some teeth and he passed away. He had some medical problems, but he wrote a he had to do a GoFundMe account to get his teeth. Because the temple wasn't going to they never got him out his teeth after 35 friggin' years, 40 years not having any teeth. He finally gets his teeth. Anyway, sad story. But there's thousands of these stories. Literally. My daughter's one of the stories. My daughter is one of the sad stories. So many stories. I can bet my life savings Prabhupada was very wrong. He was not only wrong, he was a disgusting piece of shit. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, it's not just ISKCON, it's the teachings. Yeah, if look, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to be honest with you. Let me go big for this. I'm going to say this. If you're, let's say you're isolated somewhere. You're isolated. You're on a farm somewhere in the middle of Wyoming or in the middle of Spain somewhere, and there's no one around for 100 miles. It's just you on a farm with a dog or something, and a horse or something, right? That's just you, right? You're Neil Young. You're just out there on a farm by yourself, and you know what? And you got a book. You get a book. You start reading that book and getting into Hare Krishna. That's gonna fuck up your head and harm your brain. You're going to start thinking all these weird thoughts. Sex desire is wrong, and this is wrong, and that's wrong. And I shouldn't be doing this, and I shouldn't be doing that, and I shouldn't even be thinking this, and I shouldn't be watching that, and I shouldn't be reading this. And my family is demons, and everybody's a demon. I mean, you could be isolated all by yourself, and you got one of these goddamn Prabhupada books. Don't fuck up your head. Even though you're all by yourself and there's nobody around. Start believing that shit. You self-harm. I'm telling you. This is no good. This is no good. Many people bet their life. There's many people are still. I just showed that guy 2 nights ago. Oh my God, what happened? I showed that guy 2 nights ago, and he joined when he met the devotee when he was 14, and he's still in it. He's like 65 years old. He's still in it. He's been in it for like 50 something, I don't know, 50 years. Been in it for 50 years. He's still in it. He's going on 51. It's friggin' insane. I'm so glad. Glad that wasn't me. Oh, what did I do? I want to go back to this. Okay. Something wrong with my computer. I'm sorry, guys. There we go. Okay, now we're back. Now I'm back to reality. Back to reality. Okay. That was weird. Wow, yes, but was they who were wrong if that was their conclusion? Okay, if they were lied to, and manipulated into this cult, which Prabhupada does in his books, Prabhupada is full of, his books are full of shit like women like to be raped, women have small brains. I mean, you believe that stuff? That's bullshit. You start believing that crap, start thinking women are dumb, stupid, and believing in karma, believing that people getting what they deserve, and oh, something bad happened. Well, he deserved it. That's his karma. Fuck him. Start thinking all kind of like, I don't know, child. Well, Prabhupada says child marriage. I guess I can have a 12-year-old wife. I mean, I don't know, but so if you're asking me, yeah, it's wrong. Is this wrong? It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's all wrong. It's all wrong. It's all wrong. Okay, so again, I'm gonna. Where are we here? What happened to my? What happened? What happened to me? There I am. Okay. Something's going on with my computer. It's just not something. Something ain't right. Sorry. Yeah, ISKCON is way more evil. It's way more. People don't understand, and that's the fallacy, like, of the false equivalence. It's like, well, there's bad everywhere. Well, we're not talking about everywhere. We're talking about ISKCON. Well, the Catholic Church is evil too. Yeah, but we're not talking. Sure, absolutely, but I'm not talking about the Catholic Church. I'm talking about ISKCON. Catholic Church is another show on another channel by somebody else. In Poland, we have this Smith, which is called Black Book of Communism, which was collecting all atrocities of that ideology. I hope someday someone will make the Black Book of ISKCON. Yeah, that's a good. That's a really good idea. That's a really good idea. Someone should do that. That day will come. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Kids born into ISKCON didn't even have a chance. No, they didn't. They didn't have a chance. They didn't have a chance, man. It's really sad. That's one of the saddest things about it. And one of the saddest things is the kids that are being in it now, that are born outside of India in a normal country. The parents joined ISKCON, took their little kid, and stuck them in it. That to me is criminal. I mean, that's just fucking up a little kid for life. I mean, if a little kid wants to join the Hare Krishnas when he's grown, which I don't recommend, that's one thing. That's a whole another thing. But to take an innocent 5-year-old kid, 6-year-old kid, and stick him in a Gurukula in Mayapur or in Vrindavan, to me, that is criminal. That is, it's negligence. It's bad parenting. It's morally reprehensible. It's ethically disgusting. It's everything that's wrong with humanity. It's downright evil. For a mother and father to give birth to a little child and then just take that child and just stick them in a boarding school in India somewhere, in a boarding school that's been known to have some of the worst child abuse ever anywhere, and you just stick your kid in there? Notice the pseudo Jesus 99 gets some critical feedback back. He calls them Mayavadi, Pharisees, atheists, materialists, and he alone has the grace, the bullshittery. Yeah, He has the grace. He's got the grace. He'll deliver the fallen souls when he's not banging one of his disciples. As long as he's not banging one of his disciples, then he'll hand out the mercy. But if his disciples, if she's got like a little, she's up here, she's got a little overdeveloped up in one area, and maybe a little in the other area, she's looking really good. He might not have time to give the mercy. He's busy, you got a little, can you blame him? I mean, he's Gorahari, you know what I mean?
Let's have sex.
What do you, he's dreaming.
He didn't have that dream. I did.
And somehow he wants to compare him and me, like what I'm doing. He's over there scamming women, disciples, banging them, pretending like that's no big deal, and pretending like he's some guru when he's really just a love guru. He's a love guru. He's over there. He's scamming women. He's banging them when he has a temporary fall down. You know how it is, right? I'm no different than an ISKCON guru. I'm just like all the ISKCON gurus. I every now and then, I gotta go. You know what I mean? I gotta, Oh, isn't that special?
Well, isn't that special?
Isn't that special? Isn't that special? Unfortunately, proof is in the pudding how many lives have been destroyed. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, you could, if you say, well, there's been a couple of cases of child abuse, sexual abuse, you'd say, okay, I get it. There's sexual abuse everywhere. No, this is built in. This is like complaining that there's chocolate chips in the chocolate chip cookies. No, it's chocolate chip cookies. There's going to be chips in there. There's going to be chocolate chips in there. Why are you complaining? Well, I don't know. It's like I keep finding chocolate chips in my chocolate chip cookies. Well, yeah. ISKCON is what Prabhupada created. It's a bit like all religions in the sense that people see a better culture than the society that they live in. Yeah, they do, because ISKCON lies to them. ISKCON lies to them, and it presents itself as if it's some ancient tradition, bhakti yoga, love of God, chant and be happy, and that's the farthest thing from the truth. That's why I say it's a scam. I say it's a scam, it's a scam, it's a scam. It's a scam. Because it's not what they say it is, it's not what you think it is, it's not what they want you to think it is, it's not what you think it is. It's not. It's disgusting. It's evil. Manipulating people is wrong. They got to manipulate people to get them in, to keep them in, to get them to do everything is gaslighting and manipulation and exploitation of on another level, on a cult level. It's so wrong on every level. It is. It's just so wrong on every level. And I know. And people want to say, well, people trying to escape the capitalist nightmare. Yeah, people are, but that doesn't mean you go into the friggin' bhakti yoga nightmare. It just. I mean, I agree with you. I understand. People want something better, but you know what? That's up here. First of all, you gotta understand what's going on in the world, and then you can figure out how you're gonna deal with it. Because you gotta just deal with it. And that's all religion and cults and all this stuff is just trying to deal with it. We gotta deal with it. We gotta get up every day. It's not an easy thing to do. I know, and I understand. We got to get up every day and try to make sense of why do I got to get up every day? Why I got to get up every day and go through this nightmare? And I got to try and make sense of it. I understand that, but there is no sense to it. It doesn't. There's nothing. It doesn't make sense. and that's one of the reasons why people get sucked into religions and they get sucked into cults. And because it doesn't make sense, and we want our brains want it to make sense. 2 + 2 = 4. That makes sense. Hey, we want things to make sense. It should be punished as a crime. It should be. Taking your kid, little kids should have a right. If a little kid is born in Mexico, it should be against the law to stick that kid in a school in India somewhere. That should not be. No, you can't do that. No. We're not playing that game. Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear. I'm sorry to hear that. I know it happened to a lot of kids. I've shown videos of those, those 5 little boys that were sitting there. It's so sad. When you're like, I'm from Russia, I'm from Lithuania, I'm from China, I'm from Germany. It's so sad. Those kids' lives are fucked up. Because even if they get out, let's say they get out when they're 15, they're old enough to say, hey, I don't want to do this no more. And they make that break, or even if their parents leave and they take them out, whatever, they're going to have residue just like we do. They're going to have residue. They're going to have the nightmare. They're going to have the string of Dave. They're going to have these mantras in their head. They're going to have these stories in their head. Yeah, I agree with you. This cult was trying to turn me against my family. I mean, not like they got me in a room and they're like, rawr. But it was just casually like, oh, why don't you move in there? You should move in there. If you move into the temple, you can get away from your parents. They eat meat and cooking meat and doing all that stuff. And I met so many devotees that bought into the bullshit, and they're like, yeah, my parents are demons, and I had to get away from my family are demons, and my family this, and I had to get away. And I wasn't brought up like that, and I wasn't gonna reject my family. I just wasn't. I was like, I'm gonna go on another path. And I'm gonna be this super white Hindu, and I'm gonna be chanting. I'm gonna shave my head. I'm gonna do all this shit. I'm gonna go to India, and I'm gonna do all that. But I never rejected my family. Gary, I get what you're trying to say. ISKCON doesn't really help much other than some fantasies. I agree. It doesn't really help. And the help that they do is minimal to where it's insignificant. I'd rather they didn't help. Like they say, oh, we give away all this food. We feed all these school kids. We feed thousands of school. You know what? Don't feed them. They'll get food somewhere else. Someone else will feed them. You don't have to feed those kids. Because all you want to do is give them your books, and you want them to come into your temples, and you want to turn them into you want to stick them in your schools, and you want them to become your friggin' little exploited little workers. And I'd rather you didn't give out free school food at school. We're not going to miss it. We're not going to miss it. Someone else can do it. Yeah, it's a tough one. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to come to an understanding of what happened to you, who was involved, how, why, how much of it was you being deceived, how much of it was you not being, was you just volunteer. is there's a lot going on. It's not just like, oh, I used to go to the gym. I don't go to the gym anymore. I wish it was that easy. It's not. There's a lot going on in your head when you're trying to sort it all out. And even to this day, like sometimes I feel like, oh, if only this would have happened, or if this could have happened, or why didn't somebody in my family sit me down and like have a real talk? Why didn't, that's not a healthy thing to do all those what ifs, but that's part of it, man. That's part of what we go through coming out of this cult. Yeah, we're not all out of it. We're not all out of it, and I think that's why what I'm doing is so important, because it for me this really helps. It helps. I think the thing that helps probably the most is knowing that all of you are out there, and I'm not alone. I'm not alone, and for so long I was alone, man. I think most of us were alone in our ex-cult life. We were alone. I mean, you're not going to meet other people that had the same experience with you. You're just out there floating around with your own experiences in the back of your head. So I think probably the best thing in the last 14 years is actually doing this. This has really been exceptional. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad you're both out and you're both happier. I'm glad. Tell your dad I said hi, man. Tell your dad I said. Tell him I said yabba dabba do. Tell him I said yabba dabba do. Well, it's Rath Yatra time. Rath Yatra time's coming around, so they're going to be parading around, and every day is a healing day. Yes, absolutely. Let me show you this video real quick, because this is just another example. This is another example of these freaks, and some of you out there are going to go, it's a real stretch. It's not a stretch. Believe me, this is not a stretch. Where is it?
Just imagine two gopis. Their beauty is stunning beyond imagination. And they're, arm in arm pretending they're Krishna and Balaram, whose beauty is beyond imagination. But it's just like now it's manifesting in this way, What is going on in the spiritual world?
Okay, so you're saying, what is this? This is two grown men talking about. Well, this is one grown man talking on screen, and there's another grown man off screen, talking about these gopis, how beautiful they were dressed, and it's constant. It's constant with these guys, this cult, with their gopis, their little girls, and talking about how beautiful they were dressed and how gorgeous they were, and how they're helping Krishna, having sex, and blah 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 with their false renunciation. They talk about controlling their senses and their sense control, controlling their sexual urges. Meanwhile, they're always talking about little girls and just how beautiful little girls are.
It's just inconceivable. Just to get a glimpse of it would change would change everything. If we can just see it, we have to try to see it in our mind.
Yeah. I guess that's what we're trying to do, huh? Trying to see this with our
you
mind's
hear
eye.
it, and you get a picture of it. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Are you teaching us Raganuga Bhakti right now, Kastuba?
Is that
what you're trying to disseminate to us?
We want to follow in the footsteps of the residents of Vrindavan, and we need to hear their pastimes and then remember their pastimes.
Again, with the sexual, with the Rupa Nuga and whatever. To me, it's just weird. I mean, I now that I'm out of it, and I think back on it, and I listen to them, and it just seems like an unhealthy obsession with little girls, with I don't care if it's the gopis or if it's Indra Yumna or if it's what Ramananda Roy. It's just it's always on the little girls, how they're dressed, how they look, is on their minds all the time. It's weird. Okay, I don't know how to say it. Oh yeah, yeah. He is a dancing fool. In fact, let's watch some of that. That's always fun. That's always fun. ISKCON is the biggest scam in the entire world. Sometimes I wake up, I wish it never. Me too. Absolutely. I absolutely wish it never existed. Believe me. Now my computer's doing this thing again. Yes, there is abuse everywhere. The discussion is always about how ISKCON handles it. And I'm going to tell you, it goes back. I'm going to refer back to Knitting Cult Lady, and she says, they always want to talk about how they're gonna zero tolerance, and we're gonna the highest the most extreme punishment. We're gonna make sure we prosecute the perpetrators, and we're gonna do this to the perpetrators, and they're gonna get the full extent of the law, maximum term, this and that and the other. But they never really want to talk about the victims. When they should be talking about, we want to make sure that all the victims get all the help they need, that they get all the therapy they need, that they get, they're looked after, they're cared for, all of that. They never talk about the victims. It's always, yes, we're gonna catch them, and when we catch them, boy, look out. We're gonna cut their balls off, and then we're gonna string them up, and we're going to put them on top, and we're going to put them on display, and we're going to say, you guys this and that. But they never talk about the victims and how they're going to care for the victims, and what are you going to do for the victims? And that's how you know that they're not serious about it. They're not serious about it. When they're always talking about, oh, when we catch them, we're going to do this and we're going to do that, and they never talk about how they're going to care for the victims, they're not serious. They don't care. It's not. Absolutely, Jenna Morton. Absolutely, they con you into thinking you're going to be happy, and everything's a nightmare. Everything is stressful. Everything's wrong. You're not. You're wrong. That's the gaslighting. You're not chanting enough. You're not surrendered enough. You're not doing enough service. You're not. Whatever, and it's the same thing. It's the same thing no matter who is lecturing. It doesn't matter if it's. It doesn't matter if it's this guy, because he says the same thing. He says, "Oh, you didn't have the right guru. You didn't have the right understanding. You didn't have the right teacher. You weren't reading the right books. It's my fault. It's our fault. It's my fault. You didn't have the right guru. You didn't have the right this. You didn't have the right that. You weren't whatever." It's always the person's fault. It's never your teachings are racist and sexist and you promote pedophilia and child marriage. I mean, just the child marriage should be enough to just shut this shit down. You open up a book that's promoting child marriage, and Prabhupada is saying, yeah, 12-year-old girls and 19-year-old men and 12-year-old girls and 24-year-old men is perfect, and letting them get married and doing all that. You would think that that'd be enough. You'd think that the authorities would go, what the fuck is this? What are you guys doing? and then and make them say, no, that's wrong. We don't do that. No, they won't. They don't do that. You can go on the internet right now and you can pull up half a dozen videos where they're defending it, talking about how child marriage is Vedic and child marriage is brilliant and child marriage is the best thing ever. And I've showed those videos, so you can go, you can access those videos on my right on my channel right after this video is over. Cults prevents you from putting on your thinking caps to scrutinize, discern, and be skeptical. They enforce a false sense of hope and happiness, and it's all of a sod. Yeah, they do. They tell you to turn off your mind. Don't question anything. Prabhupada's perfect. You don't need to. Prabhupada's perfect. You don't need to question. He's got it all answered. Prabhupada's got all the answers, and he's given them to you. And what's wrong with you? Why? What's the problem? I know, me too. There were times I'm going to tell you right now. I wish they would ban this religion, this cult for good. That's my dream, to be honest. Absolutely. Sometimes, like today, I was getting ready to do this. Earlier in the day, I was putting some stuff together, videos and getting videos together and everything. And I was thinking that exact thing. I was saying, man, I just wish this shit would go away. I just wish this douche nozzle would go away. ISKCON would go away. Harvard dumbass would go away. Stop harming these people. Stop conning these people. Stop talking these people into going to India and milking a cow. Pa's brother would come back, join his family again. All these people that I see on the Reddit subgroup where they're saying, my friend joined or my sister joined or my dad joined or whatever. I just wish that all those people could just have their lives back. The lives back, the life that they had before their friend or loved one got a book, and then it just fucked up everything. That one person that was like, my friend joined, and now they don't want to do anything. We used to go bowling, we used to go to the movies, we used to, that was my buddy. Or it was my girlfriend or whatever, it was my best friend. It's my best friend. We don't do anything anymore. And again, like I said the first time I brought it up, yeah, people grow apart. People don't stay friends forever. That's understandable. But when it's because of a friggin' cult, because of a friggin' because of an idiot like this, breaking up someone's marriage, breaking up someone's family, telling somebody that their mother and their sister are demons or that they're wrong because they don't want to worship this guy as a guru, or telling a guy he's got to get his wife in line because she doesn't want to come into his group anymore, and he needs to get his wife in line, and it makes her go online with a thing that says simple pussy woman. None of that is healthy. None of that is good. Bhakti yoga, it's bhakti yoga. It's a nightmare. It's bullshit. This bhakti yoga is bullshit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for anyone that like I said, you want to chant, offer flowers to your statue of your favorite deity or your favorite God. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If that's what helps you and makes you feel good, go for it. It's the racism, sexism, pedophilia, child marriage, all of that. That's what gets me. So I want to get that clear. I think, to be honest, being just about anything will make you happier than being in ISKCON. ISKCON is not a happy place. It's not. It's stressful, anxiety. It's depressing. I mean, it's just not. I mean, who's really happy? Who is really? I mean, I know these knuckleheads are not happy. I mean, if you're really truly happy, you wouldn't need to go in there to be happy. You don't need to go. If you were truly happy, you wouldn't need to go in there. Like, we're happy. Like, I'm happy. I don't have to do this to be happy, but I'm happy doing this. And everybody is happy. They come in, they watch, join in, makes them happy, doesn't make them happy. That's fine. We understand happiness works that way. Sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're not. And these ISKCON people, these bhakti yoga, whatever people, they don't understand it. They're trying to figure out this transcendental ecstasy, this transcendental bliss, this Krishna conscious happiness that's not real. It's not real. So they got to get together. They constantly have to get together and say, hey, we're chanting, right? And we're happy, right? Right? You're happy? Yeah, I'm happy. You happy? Yeah, I'm happy. Hey, Lolita, you happy? Yeah, I'm happy. Okay, good. We're all happy. Okay, let's read. Let's chant and read. That's basically what it is. Because if they were truly happy, they'd sit home and I don't need read a Krishna book to be happy. And I don't need to go to the temple to be happy. Now I can go to the temple and be happy to go, but my happiness is not dependent on that. And when I was a Hare Krishna, oh my God, it was. My happiness was dependent on how much of a devotee I was being, whether I was wearing a devotee, whether my head was shaved, whether I had tilak on, whether I was at the temple, whether I was with devotees or I was by myself, whether we were on Hari Nam and we were doing kirtan. It was like my happiness was totally dependent on them and what was going on. What was going on? It's insanity. Wow, Tibetan abuse excuse for all their crazy wisdom. I know it there will always be a certainly segment of the population that will always give a pass to the scumbags. Yeah, I know. I was just saying that in relation to something else, but there's always people that will just like excuse the scumbags. They're I think I think Islam. They're I don't think they're as scammy. I mean, to a certain extent, religion is all based on faith. Faith to me is based in a scam to somewhat, but there's levels, there's degrees, there's levels. That's why it's not all the same. So I feel like it's not. They're a little bit more on the level. It's like, hey, this is what we believe. This is what we do. Boom. You know what I mean? I don't know, maybe you don't, but I think, like I said, anything will make you happier than being a Hare Krishna. Anything will make you happier than being a Hare Krishna. It's just not. It's just not. Oh my goodness! I'm going to tell you, after 20 years in the Hare Krishnas, you forget what it's like to be a sane, rational, logical human being. You don't know what that's like. If you've been following this bullshit for 20 years and all of a sudden you've got to start thinking on your own again. You got to what do I think about that? Fuck what Prabhupada says. Fuck what Prabhupada's books say. How do I feel? What do I want to do? Do I want to eat a burger or do I not want to eat a burger? Fuck what Prabhupada says. What do I want to do? And it is liberating. It is liberating to say, I don't want to eat a hamburger because I don't want to eat a hamburger, than to say, well, I don't eat because I'm a Hare Krishna. No, I can think for myself. If I don't want to eat a hamburger, I'm not going to eat a hamburger. It is so liberating. After you've been in the Hare Krishnas for 20 years, it is so liberating to be thinking for yourself again. It is. And it being good is easy. It is. We're not those crazy demons that I would, if I wasn't hard, if I didn't have Prabhupada, I would have been, boy, I would. No, shut the fuck up. Anything that is remotely helpful is ripped off from other places. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They have nothing good on their own. Finally, what is your philosophy? I'm not a philosopher. So I can't come up with a philosophy. I just, what's your philosophy? Is your philosophy Hindu mythology? Is that your philosophy? Because that's not really a philosophy. That's just superstition. So I don't know. Feeding is a scam strategy. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, we don't have a philosophy. We don't need it like you. Yeah, I mean, what is your philosophy? You know, Zoroaster, acquiring reasoning thought are most wholesome for the body and the soul in the two existences. Yeah, I mean, gathering knowledge and using it wisely is probably better than not. I mean, I don't really know. If you want to get all metaphysical and philosophical, but like I said, I'm not a philosopher. We have some troll here speaking from Prabhupada conversation. What is your philosophy? Yeah, and I answered. Honestly. I said, I'm not a philosopher. So, so you are against whom? I mean, I'm an hour and 42 minutes in, and you haven't figured that out? I mean, I'm against ISKCON, specifically ISKCON and cults in general. Okay? Cults, generally, I'm against cults in general, and specifically, I'm against ISKCON. Rathayatra, no thanks. Yeah, it's Rathayatra season. Yeah, I think we're all trying to put Humpty Dumpty together again. Yeah, good to see you here, Ezra. Good to see you, man. Good to see everybody here. Yeah, I think you should. I think you should send a letter, and in the letter, you should put some of Prabhupada's quotes about blacks, about women having small brains, women like to be raped. Say these are this is what's in these books that they distribute. This racism, this sexism, this homophobia, the child marriage. That this is what's in these books, and I just thought you should know because this shit is fucking dangerous. That's what I would say. Yeah, we're against cults and bogus scam perdaya. Absolutely. It does preach a slave and master ideology. Absolutely. Absolutely it does. And the whole idea of karma is basically that some people deserve what they deserve. People get what they deserve. So if somebody's poor, then they deserve to be poor. And if somebody's rich, they deserve to be rich. It's a bullshit philosophy, actually. I don't like it. Lesbo action in the spiritual world. I'm on my way. Gora, take me away. Calgon, take me away. Yep. The kid grifting punk rockers. Yeah, I'm way behind on these. Two gopis making out. Yeah, I mean, two gopis. Well, you know, I always, when every time they would talk about Lord Chaitanya was in the mood of Radharani, and I would just be like, well, what does that mean? What does that mean? What are you trying? I mean, just come out and say, can Chaitanya come out of the closet? Enough with this mood of Radharani. Can you just say he was gay? Can you just say he was a homosexual? Okay, he was gay. What's this mood of Radharani? What's a mood of Radharani? Now, Chaitanya was gay, so he was a little, he was a little effeminate. All right, he had these long ass arms, and he was gay. He walked around, he kind of sashayed around, kind of like it was like RuPaul. He was like this really tall lady boy. It was like this really I don't know what to say. Okay, he was like this. So he had his arms up. It's probably kind of scary. He has his arms up, his long hair, and he's kind of like he's got his eye on you, like yeah. Oh no, man. Oh man. Yeah, imagine being 76, pushing a cart full of cult books, trying to sell, and being paid in prasadam and glubjaman. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what they're doing. That's Brigupati. That's Brigupati at the LA Temple. Been doing it for 40 years. You guys have been doing it for 40 years. They're still getting paid in prasadam. Yeah, 1 tablespoon of Metamucil. Yeah, there you go. That'll do it. I'm working on that. ISKCON food is healthy, but not is delicious, but not healthy. Yeah, it's not healthy. It's not healthy. I'm gonna tell you that. It's good, but it's not heavy. It's not healthy. Yeah, women hating, sickly, puny little beings. Absolutely. They hate women. They hate blacks. They hate women. They don't give a fuck about their kids. They're narcissistic. They think they're the friggin' in line. They think they're in line in this line to God. Now tell me that's not insane. If they think they're in line, they're in this line to God or something. There's no more trolls in here. Okay. Yeah, fanatics in any religion are always dangerous, and that's the thing. Like a cult is like just the fanatics. It's like there's no normal people. It's just the fanatics. There's no normal people, and all of them. They're all fanatical. If you're believing in this shit, then you're a fanatic. If you're putting stuff on your forehead and beads and chanting, mumbling these words, and if you're shaving your head, and if you're going to that length, you've crossed the Rubicon. You've crossed the Rubicon. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Man, Sunday Love Feast was so good. I didn't like it though when they wanted to start charging. Yeah, I think I've had plenty. I think I've had plenty of prasadam in my lifetime. I have absolutely no desire. As good as it was, as good as it is, as good as it was, I have no desire to go to Govinda's or any temple feast, Rathia, and nothing. I have no desire at all. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the little carob brownies or whatever they had. Some of it was good though. I gotta tell you, some of it was good. Little little ladus, peanut butter ladu, whatever. Chaitanya was gay. Yes, in my country we call them BAPOC. Yeah, I for a long time I thought I was the only one, but of course of course it's offensive, but I'm not in the cult anymore, and I've come to my senses, and I know that when you describe a man like that, and you talk about that in that way, in using those descriptions and what he was doing and what he was saying, and the fact that he had this wife, and then she died or whatever, and he had another wife, and then he left her. And the guy was, I'm telling you, okay. Yes, you do it, then you'll know. Yeah, you do it, lady.
It goes boom, 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 I can dance. Boom, 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 yay. Sing it with me, and then you'll know. Boom, 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 yay. You go, lady. Boom, 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 yay.
Where can you find my email address? You can find me at is it here. There, you can visit us on the web at itsmikesandoval.com. So, where's Hot Lips today? Yeah, she couldn't. Well, Gora Hari came in, so I guess he said, I'll go in and take care of him. Like, who the fuck are you? You still think you're somebody? Like, he's gonna come in here and talk shit. I don't give a fuck about him. What did they charge for the Sunday feast? I don't know. I stopped going. I heard they were going to start charging, and I was leaving. I was leaving ISKCON right around that time. First they said you can only get one plate of food, and that's it. Because in LA, it was like you could get a plate for yourself, or you could take a plate to somebody else, and maybe take a plate home, or take it to a friend. And so people would have multiple plates of food. Sunday feast, you see people walking around. I'd eat, I'd have a plate, and I'd go back get another plate, and get another plate, and I'd take a plate home to my daughter so she could have some, or to my roommate, he could have some, and he didn't go to the Sunday feast. And then they came along and they said, "No, you can't do that. You get one plate and one plate only, and that's it." And I was like, "Well, what the fuck?" I've been coming here for like 10, 15 years, closer, more like 18 years. I've been coming for like 18 years. And now you're saying only one plate. We can only get one plate? That screws everything up. And then I heard that they were like, now you got to, it's like $3 or $2 or $3 a plate. You got to pay. You got to pay to have you got to pay to get a plate. And I wasn't going by that time. I wasn't going. I bought 2 boxes of incense from Little Dicky Slavin in the 90s. You added to the problem. Yeah, you helped him. Oh, I didn't realize Hot Lips she's a senior devotee, man. She's like up there. She's like She's like his right hand man. She's like his. She is his skinny white woman. She's his skinny white woman. That's why he can treat her like shit, because she's not going anywhere. He can treat her like shit because she's not going anywhere. You know, she gets out of line. He just smack her around. He can verbally abuse her, call her names, do whatever. She's not going anywhere. She's a top dog. She's a top dog. She's the top lip. She's the top lip of the hot lips. The new Chaitanya. Oh, he's a GI Joe, a stud manly man. Oh, that's funny. They made him out to be Wolverine. They made him. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Then you'll know.
It goes boom, 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 I can dance. Boom, 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 yay. You sing it with me, and then you'll know. Boom, 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 yay. You go, lady. Boom, 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 yay.
Yeah, I don't know how, because I stopped going, but I know. But what in the when I first started going, you'd get a plate. They would come around, and everybody would line up in the temple room, and they come and they put a plate down in front of everybody. Then they moved the prasadam across the street into what they called the prasadam hall, which was just the underground garage converted into like a big room. And they handed the plates out as you came in. And so people would ask for 2 plates, so they give you 2 plates. But then you only get 1 plate. 1 plate only. And a lot of people were pissed off about that, because we were used to giving, I'll bring you a plate of prasadam, I'll get you a plate of prasadam, or somebody wouldn't go in to get it, and so you go get it, and you get prasadam, bring me a plate. So that just screwed everybody. A lot of people were pissed off. It's like you could only get 1 plate, and that was it. And then they made it like it was a restaurant, kind of like a banquet hall. You had to like sit. You just sat. Whoever could sit, and I didn't like that, because I don't want to sit with someone I don't like, and I didn't like anybody. I didn't like anybody. No, I just I didn't like the way they had it set up where the seating was in there. So I'd get my plate and I would just bail out of there. So I don't know. Then I heard that they were charging $3 or $5, something. They were charging for those plates, and I don't know, because I never went. I stopped going, man. Some countries they charge. Yeah, that was the thing. Was I heard some places I had heard that they were charging, like Sydney or somewhere they were charging, and I was like, oh, man, that's kind of messed up. I hope they don't do that here in L.A. And then a few years later they did it in L.A. Yeah, they've been charging. I'm going to tell you, they've been charging in L.A. for like the last. Well, since I left. So I left in 12. And so that was 14 years ago. And they've been charging. They used to walk around with the donation thing, but they charging. You know what? I think they may have done that. It may have been. It may have been a ticket. You got a ticket. You may have had to buy a ticket, and then you go inside. You get a ticket, and you get a plate. I think it might have been. I think that's what they. I think you're right. I think that's what they did, man. They got really cheap, because the whole idea. Look, the whole idea of this whole Krishna consciousness thing was prasadam for everybody. Eat as much prasadam as you can. Give prasadam away to whoever you can, and that was that was part of the whole experience. And I love that, and everybody loved that. So when they started limiting the prasadam, it was like, well, wait a minute, that ain't right. And so I took it personally. I took it personally. I think everybody took it personally. Hey Ghana, I think I'm gonna head out too. I want to thank everybody for joining in today. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and I want to thank Ghana. I want to thank Eliana, Snoggle, of course, AJ, Fake Human. Gotta thank Fake Human. It's not the same without Fake Human here. Duke of Squirrels, thanks for the mucilix. Hot tip on the mucilix. Gregor, thanks for stopping by. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Who else was here? Who else we got? Wow. Thank you, Wow. Jolynn and Jenna Morton. And Gora Hari stopped by. William Zoda himself, the Dreamer, Mr. Dreamer Pod himself.
He didn't have that dream. I did.
He didn't have that dream. I did. Ghana again, and who else? I don't know who else. All of you guys are great. You guys are all great. It's so much fun. Hopefully I'm gonna be back tomorrow. We're gonna watch some more videos. I'm gonna get to the videos that you guys sent in so we can watch those and I can get those down. I got over 100. I got over 100 videos, everybody. So we're gonna just spend a whole 3 hours just watching videos. Oh, good. I'm glad your dad's feeling better and he's doing good. That's good. I got to do the same thing. I got to exercise. It's a whole thing going on. It's a whole thing going on with Mike over here. So, most Hare Krishna. I already did these, but I was looking for. Absolutely. Yeah. Love. Yes. Absolutely. Love and thanks to everybody, even William Zoda, even Yoda Zoda. Everybody, the Dancing Fool. Let's take a look at that one more time before we leave. This friggin' the Dancing Douche. Here we go. There he is. All right, everybody. Thanks so much. Everybody, please have a great day, great night, great morning, great afternoon, great evening. If you're hungry, have a great brunch. Everybody, please have some great luck. Please stay out of a cult. And here's a time when you get to see me when I was one of these crazy ass Hare Krishnas. All right, I was doing it. I was out there. I was boom, boom, boom. Yay! Thanks, everybody.